But listen, man, that was a good conversation, man. That was a good conversation.
Yeah,
definitely, man. But listen, we about to get into a topic that Jay been wanting to get into for a very long time.
Yes.
We got to get into this person versus artist.
Yes.
Can you separate the two? And this has been a conversation that's been had for a long time. But when we talk about this, the only question that comes to my mind is, who are we talking about? Like when we mention this, like who are we talking about? What people are we talking about? Like,
talking about all of them. We talking about Bill Cosby. I mean, we talking. I was gonna say R. Kelly, but they didn't drop something else, so I'm like, I don't even know if I could even say that. But there are some artists when they do things and they have struggles. There are individuals who have struggles, and they just happen to be an artist who put out very good things. And so, do we cancel both of them? Do we cancel the artist because of the struggles of the person?
Well, hold up, because we only mentioned black people in this. Don't forget about Kevin Spacey.
Those are the only ones I care about. Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Don't forget about Woody Allen.
What did Kevin Spacey do? What did he do?
He molested. Like he.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. They said that he is like one of those people that like rapey. Like he.
Listen, a rapist, right?
Like I don't remember necessarily children.
Remember the Netflix movie TV show he was in?
House of Cards.
I ain't watched it.
Yeah, House of Cards. Yeah,
I ain't watched it.
Which I was a fan of. I just like that show.
He's a good actor, but he always plays somebody's foul.
The dad, American Beauty.
And he was creepy in there.
The Negotiator.
He always plays someone's
Samuel
foul.
Jackson.
Gosh.
I'm gonna start looking at these people just like that. The things that they play. If you play,
he was in Seven. He was in Seven.
If you play that part, he played that part really good.
Oh, he like people done came out and said he raped them.
Yeah.
Yes. And he resigned, like he was over some kind of music. I mean, actors guild, and he like resigned from that. Yeah, like he resigned.
Yeah, because of allegations, they had to pull him from House of Cards. They pulled this kid.
But this is a great. So we're talking about that Weinstein.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah, he's canceled.
Ain't nothing to separate there. That dude was foul.
I didn't know who that was. I didn't even know who the man was until he had.
I was like, this was like Harvey Weinstein. I'm like, who is that? What did he do?
Weinstein.
Why do I need to know him?
The Weinstein Company. All the movies that you see that says Weinstein Company on them.
He's the reason why. What's his name? Quentin Tarantino is the director to this day.
Is he really?
He's his company housed all Quentin Tarantino's movies. He's the reason why Quentin
Tarantino. I'm looking at. Well, they said Quentin Tarantino is a jerk. Like, but he makes like the. I might be the only one.
Let me tell you about
Separate.
Tarantino. He was on an episode. He was on a what's the name of an episode of The Breakfast Club, and he was I don't know.
Quentin Tarantino.
I'm sorry, they did an excerpt from the interview. Sorry, hold on, let me finish. They pulled the excerpt from the interview he did, and he said that he would never ever give his mother any of the money that he made from movies because when he was writing those things, she's like, it's time to stop all of this directing and all of these dreams that you need to pay attention to schoolwork. That is the pettiest thing ever. Like, you will never give your mom any of your money. I mean, it's crazy. That's the only thing that stands out to me about Quentin Tarantino. Like, that's amazing.
All I'm saying is, with these people, it's a lot of people that are, in this thing that, this world that are in Hollywood. They do a lot of stuff, and I just want to make sure that they're actually in this conversation as well.
Right.
But so yeah, those are the people that I think about. So with this conversation, can you really do that? Like, is that possible?
Yeah. You can, because let me tell you something. When I found out, do y'all remember in the 90s? Martin is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh my God, please don't say anything about Martin. Please.
I love Martin. Not Martin. I love the show. I love everything. I love the camaraderie between him and Pam. I love that Tommy ain't never had no job. We never knew what Tommy did. We never seen Big Shirley up face to face. You know what I'm saying? I like I love the show. But when I found out about Gina,
allegedly.
This day, allegedly.
Because I don't. Who knows that really happened?
Who knows? But when I found out, but even if it did not happen,
what do we?
He says it didn't. He says it didn't.
What happened?
He said, no. He's saying that it did not happen. It was alleged that Gina wanted to do music, but she had the contract with Martin, and Martin was like in his 4th or 5th season, so it was doing really well. Mm-hmm. And so they would not let her out of that contract. So allegedly, she said that Martin was sexually harassing her. So that's why they had those shows when the show started to come up against its demise. Like when she was in Chicago, I missed her. She in Chicago. I'm in Detroit. Whatever. You know. So that was during the time where they were not filming together. So all these years later, like they just kind of made amends. Like 2020. So it's like, I still love the show. Like I still love those parts where she's funny, and I love the episode where they, Pretty Ricky, what they call them. That's one of my favorite episodes that she plays in. But I do not separating the person. I feel like she tries entirely too hard. I don't really like House Party because of her. Like I didn't like her in anything else but that. I hated her in Sprung. I did not like her in other stuff. But
oh my gosh,
I did not like her.
I
don't care for her.
I used to love that one.
I like her in House Party.
That's because she didn't even have that. She was saying.
No, like she was the light skinned friend. That's like I didn't care for her.
But they was dancing.
Let me say something. Let me say something that I'm okay. Trim, you are vindicated because I didn't see House Party till I was like in high school.
Oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah. So I had already found out
that makes sense though, because Tay's mom was real strict, right? Am I correct on that? Was she not?
Pretty. So my mom was super strict.
A House Party.
I didn't watch Friday until I was in high school.
See? So that makes sense.
New Jersey Drive was off limits.
Oh, forget about it. I think that's all households. But hold up. Let's really let's really talk about who we really talking about.
Right.
R.
Kelly.
I'm talking about R. Kelly, and I'm talking about the Cosby Show because Bill Cosby. Because let me tell you something. I was really, really very hurt when they pulled the Cosby Show and A Different World, because I feel like these shows are syndicated. So when y'all pull these things, y'all taking money out of these actors' pockets that have never acted ever again. Like they never, like there are quite a few who they may have done like little plays and little chitlin circuit things here and there, but they ain't never been like on the big screen since these shows. And so y'all gonna pull this because of this one man.
But that is a huge allegation.
And it's a huge allegation. I'm not denying it. But what I'm saying is, go back against him. Like, don't with them. Like, don't.
But those shows are him though.
Yeah, he's William Cosby. He's William Cosby. With his name, he's the creator of Different World. He's the creator of a lot of backdrop things. All the HBCUs who need that money cannot be associated by something. Women are more powerful than men. There are men that get raped. I can't tell you how many times I've heard men talk about their babysitters molesting them. Nothing ever happened. When women or something happens to women by a man, I don't care how long ago it was. I don't care how famous you are, how much money you got, how much good you've done. You will always be overshadowed. And if you do not shut that down and don't celebrate that, that's what's going to happen. That's what's separating the man from the... Because I was like, not Heathcliff Huxtable. I didn't say Bill Cosby.
And that's what I'm saying.
I said not Heathcliff.
We say Heathcliff or we say Dr. Huxtable or whatever. Like, so that is why I'm so kind of like, and in Different World, granted, he's the creator and he's the mind behind it. He wasn't even on like not one episode that I can recall. And I would love that
his name was.
I'm saying
his name, William Cosby is him. He is the executive.
Every time they come up.
Mm-hmm. And I said that. I get William Cosby, but at the same time, like I can't. Like to this very day, I love the show. Like I love the show. Even with R. Kelly, like I think with R. Kelly is different though,
Exactly.
because like it's certain songs that come on, and I'm just like, ugh, like it's just real creepy. Like it just gives me a nasty, like I don't feel as good. Even Step in the Name of Love, like I can't step like I used to step. It's just not. It just don't do it. It just don't do it. But Cosby Show, like I'm gonna really hurt.
What you think?
Yeah, Bill Cosby, man, because I felt that was wrong how they singled this man out. I mean, nobody is perfect, but I think that was doing a blow to us as black people when they took him, like when they pointed him out. They wanted. I felt like they felt vindicated. They felt right and vindicated that they could pull the Cosby Show and they could pull a different world, because that meant so much to a lot of us in our households growing up. So I felt vindicated when they actually had to reverse the decision on Bill and let him out. So I feel that, you know, they were, me personally, I just feel like they were trying to attack Bill on something totally different for what they wanted to get him on. I felt that's just my belief. But with R. Kelly,
yeah, that's
I can't listen to.
Yeah.
I can't. What was he talking about? It seems like you ready. Who was he talking to?
It was under our nose the entire time.
Like he talking
A
to a
Pod
little girl that's probably
Piper.
sucking on a lollipop and like holding a teddy bear at the time.
A Pod Piper, the Pod Piper of R&B. What is a Pod Piper? Somebody who plays music to lure all the children to them. It was under our nose the whole time. So when you're listening to R. Kelly now, it's like, oh, is he talking about?
You can't erase that out your mind when you
Age ain't nothing but a number.
He wrote that. He wrote it.
It was under our nose the whole time. The man married a 16-year-old girl. Exactly. It was under our nose at 30.
High schools when he was in his mid-20s.
And seeking people to pick out girls for him, and they did it.
So I think what made it more damaging to R. Kelly is when that documentary came out on him. Like if they had a documentary on Bill, I don't know if it would have been the same.
I think they need more people in jail, if you ask me, but that's beside the point. Because even the documentary, like you cannot celebrate. Because listen, Ignition brings back some wonderful memories for me at the skating rink. You know what I'm saying? The censor version, of course. Step in the Name of Love is everybody's family reunion. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So when you get to that point, like, does it take away from the memories that you have that are attached to the artistry that artist has put out?
It does not take away from that, but at the same time, it does give you an eerie feeling that all of this time you've been celebrating somebody who means no good by anybody that has been in his circle. Because even if he did not molest you, just the allegations of how he treated his family, his wife, you left these people destitute. Like, you know what I'm saying at this point. So now your music, as genius as he is,
right,
a complete musical genius who squandered his legacy.
He can't read.
And cannot read.
Can't read. That's the crazy and mind blowing part. And that's why I'm just like, because they say like people who are incredibly talented are like disabled, like they're disturbed. Yeah. Like even like Left Eye, God rest her soul, as talented as she is, they said that she has some issues. Like it's been stated plenty of times before. She was
just natural.
I'm saying there's mad talented people who ain't got no issues, though.
I think that there's people who are able to mask.
There's mad people who don't have, who aren't considered super talented, who got plenty issues.
But a lot of people like Beyonce, I think Beyonce is super weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that not like that. Like I think no. I don't mean it.
And happy birthday, B. Happy birthday, B.
Happy birthday. When I say weird,
please leave us alone.
No, when I say weird, I think that she probably, you know, is a sweet person, but she's always thinking about, you know, moving up. She's always thinking about music. That's how I feel. Like she's one of those people that has to be. But R. Kelly, you talking about weird in a sense. I think that R. Kelly in his mind thinks he's 19 years old. I really feel like he thinks that. I think that he feels like because even when he was 40, he was still dressing like he was 20.
Right. So there's a story though. There's a story that and Nick Cannon tells the story. Because you know Nick Cannon was, you know, he was close with R. Kelly.
He was in the Initial video remix.
I mean, he did a song with R. Kelly.
Yeah, that Gigolo song.
Gigolo song. That's R. Kelly on the hook. Right.
Now I gotta look at Nick Cannon.
But now, here's what R. Kelly. This is what Nick Cannon says though. He says, when you have a conversation with him, it's not like a conversation that an adult would have.
Wow. You
know, it's not a like a intellectual conversation. You know, Nick Cannon is very intellectual.
He is. Yes, he is.
Very
got him in a lot of trouble. Yes.
Yeah, he's a hoe. He's a hoe, but he's smart. He's a smart hoe.
Yeah, but he has a lot of. But he is very intellectual, right? But he says when he talks to R. Kelly, it's just like you talking to a like a teenager or like a, you know, like a somebody's younger than him, but he's not.
But that means because my mom, she worked with domestic violence while she did NYPD, and they used to have to go to trainings for like pedophiles and, you know, like things like that. And she said like that's considered a sickness. Like she said that they had tapes and these people were sick. Like they were saying like that these kids, like she wanted it and she was calling for me. So they're like, they have like a mental issue. So with you saying what you're saying that Nick said when he was talking to R. Kelly, and then knowing that about it being classified as a sickness, like it's kind of like it's.
So you listen to R. Kelly is what you're saying?
No, I deleted it off of my phone.
You sound depressed about that. I remember he had.
I used to love Chocolate Factory, but I was just like, dang, like Chocolate Factory.
I remember like he had an interview with Barbara Walters. This is what I was like, okay. He peed on her. That's something going on. This is when I knew, and I try not to laugh because it's a very serious thing. But he said, see, like, I'm trying to laugh and then you bust out laughing. It's like, don't make it look bad. So he was like, do you have an obsession with young girls? He's like, so when you say young.
Right, what do you mean?
What do you mean by young? How old is young? How old is young? Like that was like one of those admission of guilt, like subliminal.
Right. It's like
14.
Right. What you saying? 17 and a half?
Yes.
The birthday's tomorrow?
Yes.
What are we talking about here?
And then it's like it got to a point where it's like when you look too old, when you started because he had girls like those girls that he had. One was named Jocelyn and the other one, whatever. Like it's like so many people contributed to his sickness.
Yeah, because he was
money rules the world. Even the parents. You telling me you sold your daughter for R. Kelly to pay your $1,000 light bill? Move. You think you're gonna sell my daughter? Like that's what they did. Like you know your daughter can't sing all that good.
Listen, a great poet once said that P was digital.
Who said that?
Don't.
Sorry. Somebody said that? Oh no. Okay, so this is my thing because like y'all know we be real quick to cancel. Are we harder on our own than the others are on theirs? Because these other ones that y'all started naming, I had never heard. I heard about the Harvey Weinstein guy, but and I heard about the guy from Seventh Heaven, right? Kevin Spacey. I didn't hear about. Yeah, that one was crazy. But like Kevin Spacey, I didn't know anything about that. I had not heard that at all.
We cancel white people. Excuse me, other people, other races. Because it's not just white people either. Like there are cultural harems and people that like marry 12-year-old in other countries. That's a norm. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's normal. So I think that we cancel for the wrong reasons. Like we still talking about Chrisette Michele, but everybody's talking about Yeezy album.
I am so upset about that. Like that.
But that's the thing.
Very day. I hate that we cancel her so hard, and everybody out here downloading Kanye album.
But the thing about here's my thing, and I'm not dominating. I swear, College Dropout was my favorite album. College Dropout and Niggas in Paris were my two that I literally can go through the whole entire album without changing any songs. I loved those albums. So Kanye is a genius. I feel like now that he's on this mental roller coaster and he's trying to change his style and be original all over again. Because remember, most of his hits were samples.
Yeah, they were.
Most of his like songs were samples. Like I will never forget that song he did with Twista. Like he kind of people. He put people on the map. Like he put a lot of people on the map. But I think that, now it's like it's hard for him to keep that. Like it's hard for him to keep that momentum because he's trying to do so much different. It's trying to stay current, and he's mentally incapable. But that whole thing with Trump, I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing.
That's why I'm saying, like, he's a musical genius, and I get that. But Chrisette Michele is very talented. So I guess I'm trying to understand, like, what's the difference between the two.
I'm gonna tell you the difference.
Who's listening to Chrisette Michele and who's listening to Kanye?
Right.
I literally have Chrisette Michele on my phone.
I do too.
I do too. But you gotta understand that Ye is more than just music. Like he has a culture. Like he's an influencer. You know what I mean? Like he like who was wearing holes? Like he put holes in shirts and everybody was wearing them
for $4,000.
He got sneakers. He got his own Crocs.
He went with Nike, Adidas. Now he got his joint that he's doing with Adidas. This man came out in a red suit and a silver helmet talking about
and a stocking cap.
I really don't get it, but y'all, he's selling.
I mean, but look at him though. Look at it. This is what we're talking about.
But
he's an attention whore anyway. So.
Let me get this straight. So we still listen to Ye. We still watch the Cosby Show and A Different World, and we still listening to R. Kelly. We're not listening to R. Kelly.
We're not listening to R. Kelly.
We ain't listening to R. Kelly. We still watching A Different World.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I love
it. I still watch the Cosby Show.
I still watch Cosby Show, even though and that's how they irritated me, because it used to come on in the evening time. They pulled it and then they put it on at 3-4 o'clock in the morning where they know everybody's sleeping.
TV1 be playing it all day.
Like,
but so here's how I see it. Here's how I see it. There are certain things that it's certain people who put their personality into their art. Right? And most of it comes from music, but then again, you also got some actors who probably chooses roles that are similar to what they do, and I think that's where I feel like the personality and the art, when they match, is very hard for me to separate the two. Like R. Kelly wrote a lot of songs, and when you go back, excuse me, I was always suspect about a lot of his songs. I was always thinking like, yo, that don't sound right. I've always been like that, and y'all may not believe me. Y'all may be saying, oh, because it's out. I've always, ever since I heard about him and Aaliyah, I've always been real, like, listen to his lyrics. Even
which ones though? Which songs come to mind?
Like the song that Tay was talking about, that Seems Like You Ready. To
go all the way.
Yeah, like right, exactly. You know what though? I'm gonna tell you though. Even when I listen to Keith Sweats, he says you're young but you're ready.
You may be young, but
you're ready. Oh, wow.
When he says that, I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. How young is this girl?
Don't tell me that we about to cancel Keith Sweat.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's certain. Y'all know I analyze music like it's. I live, breathe, walk it, talk it.
Here's the problem. And I love that. But here's the problem. We all knew about R. Kelly
we turned a blind eye to it.
It's a difference though between knowing, like, because all right. So listen, this is 1990s, right? Yeah. Everything we don't have. There's no internet really. Internet's probably 3 years out, somewhere in there, right? Like maybe 4 to 5 years out, because American Online is coming soon at this point, right? But we're getting the Word Up magazines, we're getting the newspapers and stuff like that, so we just don't know, right? But now that you actually got a documentary, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Now,
but do you remember like when? And I don't even remember how I knew this because my mom was like tight with the reins. So that was like, with the whole "I'm gonna pee on you." Dave Chappelle did a whole parody.
That pee was digital. That pee was digital.
Yeah, I remember that.
We made jokes about it. Like it was, he peed on that girl. Like it was like jokes.
It's different with Dave.
But here's the thing, and I'm about to go deep. Get ready.
Ooh, take us on a ride, sis.
If he was doing that to little white girls, I don't feel like there would be so much outrage. You know what I'm saying? If he was doing that to little white girls, just like with Tiger Woods. If he was cheating on his white wife with a whole bunch of black girls, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, let him go with his own kind. It wouldn't have been so much outrage. When it's us. It's like, I remember he was supposed to go to court and it was like discontinued. What was it? Discontinued indefinitely. So there was like, this evidence sat in the locker for 15 years. And then here come another allegation, somebody else. Okay, now let's put him back in jail. No, you gave him ample opportunity to hurt so many more people because it was us. Because his preference was black girls. If it was a whole bunch of little white girls and he's molesting and parents are selling their kids off, it would not have been that same thing. So I just feel like that. We cannot celebrate his music. We cannot celebrate anything he's doing because he has used all of those resources to hurt, damage, and torture little girls.
And that's what it is. That is, it gets too personal.
Yeah.
Like with R. Kelly, so here's my theory. Like I believe that when black people, we elect you to be
a representative,
somebody, right? It's like you're a representative of us, right?
You are, yeah.
Right. So when you go out there and you use that power that we gave you, we done bought your records, even when you was on trial the first time, and that Chocolate Factory came out
the first time,
right?
It's like we let you get a pass and you still out here acting like
we still was like,
and you're recording it. You're
recording.
We still was like,
and you done bought a whole warehouse,
right?
And done locked people up in the bottom of the warehouse. Like
we still was like, all right, R. Kelly, listen, bro,
don't do it again.
Right. Like don't listen, bro. We heard the allegations, but
and paid him to do it.
Go ahead and keep the party going.
And paid him to do it.
Right.
So it's like there are certain people that I feel like cancel culture is like we need to figure out like what are the criteria, like because. There are people that stand outside the courtroom with signs like "He innocent." Them girls wanted it, like it's ridiculous. But yet we are celebrating Kanye, and he blatantly told y'all like
slavery was a choice.
Kanye's crazy.
Kanye's
crazy.
But that's no excuse.
But that's no excuse. But no, hold on, because that's the same exact thing. Nobody helped R. Kelly or put a stop to his shenanigans. And they clearly see that there's something wrong with him. Because all of this transpired when his mom died. Everybody's just feeding into it and letting him keep going. And there has to be somebody if y'all see me making a fool of myself, and I'm just going, somebody, hey, jab.
Let me tell you who's a fool. The fool trying to prove to a fool that they're not a fool. Or vice versa. A fool trying to prove.
Okay.
You would be crazy to think that you can fool a fool to think they're not fooling. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to know what I'm trying to say. It's trying to get in my head. But you can't prove to a crazy person that they're crazy.
Right.
A crazy person thinks that you're crazy because you aren't thinking like they're thinking. Like
right. They're in a different headspace.
Yes. And Kanye, he needs some medication. Like everybody knows that.
He is really sick.
Yeah.
He has not dealt with his mom's
people are feeding into his whole thing. Like, I'm trying not to go there.
Go there.
They really feeding this man saying that this is a masterpiece and all this other stuff.
Oh, the album?
That's not an album.
That ain't what I heard. Everybody on my feed like, yes, it's trash. I'm 11 songs in.
There's some people that saying that Drake album is the best album since he first came out. This is a matter of opinion.
That ain't it either.
There's no way.
It's a matter of opinion.
The first two songs and the last song really on the Drake album.
How many songs are on the album?
20-something.
Hold up.
On Drake album?
Hold up. Drake has been accused of some creepy stuff too, y'all.
Like what? I was listening. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little disappointed that man hit his baby. But on the offhand, I kind of understand. You're a celebrity. You don't want nobody in business. I kind of get it.
I understand that.
Tino had the dirt on Drake a long time ago when he was grassy. So
listen.
The wheelchair was fake.
Drake was texting. So you know old girl from Stranger Things, right? The quiet one.
11.
I've never seen it.
Not 11.
The quiet one. Yeah, I guess that's the name. 11, 7.
Yeah, she was 11 in the movie.
11 from
11?
what?
Or is it
Stranger Things?
The Stranger Things.
It's the girl. It's her name is something Bobby Brown.
L.
It's L. Yeah, 11.
It's L. Yes. So he was text. So she's a big fan of Drake's, and Drake would text her. You know, like I miss you. Like, you know, or like text her about like boy issues. Now I'm not saying that he wasn't probably legit like
he ain't say slap on my knob. Like, what's the problem?
But this is not the only person that he like young girl that he's done this to, right? He's texted young women when, you know, it's like as a grown man, you should know, a grown man and a man with fame, you should know better not to be texting young girls
if it was innocent, like,
right, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's innocent or not, a young girl can take that and think it's something different, right? You notice she's a fan of yours, and you texted her miss you. It's like
he said miss you.
Yeah, he said miss you.
That's why I, and that's sad to say, I know entertainment belongs to everybody. That's why I feel like the entertainment industry is not for children, because people prey on it. Like, literally, I can't remember who it was. I think it was the guy from from one of those older shows. I cannot think of his name right now. I can see his face. I cannot think of his name. He was outlining. He had a lot of drug issues. Different Strokes.
Todd Bridges.
He had a lot of drug issues, but he talked about, he never named a person, but he talked about how he was molested by these agents, and he was molested as a child. Now, he was a child actor, very popular in the 70s.
Corey Haim had the issues.
Yes, Corey did. That's why he's so weird now.
He died.
He committed suicide.
He's deceased.
Corey Haim.
Oh yeah.
No.
Not Corey Feldman, but he was.
But separating the person from the artist, or the person from the actor, or this or that, it's like it's virtually impossible, because everything that person does, you're gonna be related. Like, we make fun of it, Bill Cosby. You know,
listen. I could watch the Cosby Show. I can watch the Cosby Show and be comfortable, only because I know that there's not going to be any pill dropping in the Cosby Show, or in the different world. but I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning what he did in real life, right? But at the same time, I'm okay with watching a different world, because
he's not on there all the time. But it's so funny. He tackled stuff like that. Do you remember? In his shows, like, he talked about drugs, and he talked about rape. Remember when that dude tried to rape Freddie?
Oh my god,
that was cringy.
You know,
episode.
So
but then even in the Cosby Show, when they found the joint in Theo's book, and it didn't belong to Theo, but Theo brought the food to the house. That's one of my favorite episodes too.
Right.
So what's the consensus here? So if it's personal, we can separate the artist from the person.
It's levels.
So all right. So we can leave it at the fact that it's levels to separating. It's really, okay. I got you. It's levels to doing it, and I think that should be a personal discussion that you have with yourself,
right?
And what you believe in. I mean, because at the end of the day, like I said, Bill Cosby. Before all of this happened, before I knew about Bill Cosby, he built the kid, and listen. He helped me become a man.
And not to mention, like, some of those cases, it's so hard and it's so sad with the Me Too movement. Look, I support women. I support men as well. I support people who are legitimately doing well and trying to live this thing called life correctly, innocently, without doing harm to others. I definitely do. But I just feel like, and this is not shaming anybody, but I just feel like if something, and trauma is real, but if something happens to me, I'm going to say it right away. Like I tell my daughter, like that's one of the things that I preach with her. There are certain women on that trial. How you let him rape you twice? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot in between that. It's a lot in between that. It is.
We do got a whole new topic to go to, but before we end this, I got to say this. R. Kelly.
What the hell is that?
What is that?
To you do right by people.
Boy, if y'all go somewhere.
Wow.
Good. Listen, I got to go.
I'm trying to duck and dodge that one. Don't put that on here.
Yeah, that's R. Kelly. That's for R. Kelly. Listen,